Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Friday, July 19th, 2013. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's jump right into the charts here. There's a lot going on this morning. We'll start with the S&P 500 E-mini futures. The futures are only trading down 1 point, but it should be noted that NASDAQ futures yesterday, after the closing bell, really tumbled. We'll take a look at the NASDAQ futures. You'll get a good view of what happened yesterday after the closing bell. You had Microsoft and Google both reporting earnings with extra large misses. So both companies really took a tumble yesterday after the closing bell. You can take a look at Google, which is down pretty significantly, but well off the lows. It did go trade down to around the 860 level, has come off those lows pretty decently. We'll see where it settles out today once the dust clears, but nonetheless, that level of 860 could be retested. As far as Microsoft goes, this stock is at the lows right now, and you can see that's a pretty big move. Microsoft stock is as thick as a telephone book, meaning there are many, many shares outstanding, and this is a really sizable decline for the large stock. So, again, Microsoft closed at $35.44. Today it's trading at $32.81. I know it doesn't sound like a huge move, but it is a big, big move, especially with a stock like this that doesn't really move all that much. It's more like a thick commodity these days, but nonetheless, the stock is down sizably and holds a humongous market cap. So, again, Microsoft and Google both getting really hit very, very hard last night, and that is problematic. Also, Intuitive Surgical, ISRG, is another stock that really got clipped last night as well. Looks like there was FDA, I forget the exact news, you'll have to look at it, but either way, the stock tumbled from 420 all the way down around 350. Now it's catching a little bit of a bid ahead of the opening bell, but nonetheless, this one can trade lower as well today if the market sells off at least in the early part of the day. Today is a Friday. Rarely do we see many big declines on a Friday, so traders should note that on Fridays normally the market will finish flat to slightly positive. Whenever it is down, it's really not down that much. We'll see if today is an exception. I'm not really leaning in that camp. I do think that technology itself, or the NASDAQ itself, should be a little bit on the weaker side today when it's all said and done. But we do have earnings galore out here. Some positive earnings results with Chipotle Mexican Grill. So this stock traded up to around 405 yesterday. Right now it's trading around 395. You also had Capital One Financial with a nice little move as well. This stock has a ton of resistance around $70, so I have a hard time seeing it get through 70. But hey, you never know. The financials just keep going higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. So you just never know. They defy gravity almost each and every day. So we have to take that into consideration. Looking across the markets last night, you did have the Asian markets come under pressure. The Nikkei 225 index was down about 1.5%. The Shanghai index was down 1.5%. So the Asian markets not really reacting that well, most notably the Nikkei 225. So we'll have to watch that very, very closely. But either way, Nikkei was down about 1.5%, and the Shanghai was down 1.5%. It looks like everything else was basically flat. Hang Seng was flat. This Bombay Sensex index was flat, and the Singapore Straits Times index just down slightly, basically flat. So we're not going to make too much out of it. Looking at Europe this morning, you're going to see the FTSE 100, which is England. They can print their own money. That is down about 0.2%. The German DAX and the French CAC 40 both down about 0.1%. Not a big deal. Spain and Italy are both higher. Italy, the Milan index, up about 0.5% at the moment. So markets, they're hanging in there despite some what I think has been a terrible earnings season, but the market doesn't seem to care. They really care about the central bank intervention or the easy money policies coming out of the central bankers, and that's really the difference maker. Either way, watch the financial stocks. They're going to tell you everything you need to know. In my opinion, the most important financial stock out here is JP Morgan Chase. This stock stays up. Very hard to see the markets decline. This stock moves lower. Markets can come under pressure. It's very, very simple. Don't even have to really look at much else. Other things that can move this market will be the dollar-yen, and obviously you're going to look at bond yields. So bond yields will be the other thing. Bond yields go higher. That's a negative for the market. But either way, That's what you have to watch for when trading the intraday markets each and every day. We will have a lot of gap plays out there today. They'll be posted in the market around 9 a.m. So watch for those. We do have a lot of gap plays. We do have plays from Microsoft, Google, Intuitive Surgical, and a host of others. Let's take a look at gold this morning. Gold is holding steady for the most part. So one thing about gold today, really nothing terrible going on. It looks like right now gold is trading basically, let me just get the exact quote here, up about $4.30 to $12.8850 per ounce. So that's a decent little move. Silver is down a little bit. Copper is up a couple of ticks, so we don't want to make too much out of it. 10-year bond yield is sitting at 2.54%. Let's take a look at oil this morning. Oil is up 90 cents again, so oil is approaching the $109 a barrel level. You just have to wonder when the high price of oil will affect the market, and so far it has no effect on the market at all. Gasoline prices, if you take a look at the UGA, which is the United States Gasoline Fund, I'm just going to roll up into a daily chart here, and you're going to see putting in a bullish base to push higher again. But gasoline is higher. I mean, this has had a huge move from 54 on the UGA all the way up to 62, really since the beginning of July. So tremendous move up in gasoline, but having no real ill effect on the overall stock market. Stock market only cares about money printing by the central bankers, and that's really it. It looks like QE tapering is off the table for now. Maybe it reappears down the road a little bit, but it looks to be off the table for now by Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke, and we just got to trade the markets accordingly, and that's what you have to do. I think that pretty much covers everything I wanted to get through today. Again, we will have gap plays posted at 9 a.m., so come on over, and we'll put those gap plays up for you in the chat room. With that said, everybody, have a great trading day, and we'll see you on the charts.